Hi, I'm Pam, and I'm here to talk about video games. It's time for some more suggestions of games that you should play on Game Pass. If you don't know, Game Pass is a monthly subscription service for Windows and Xbox that gives you access to a large library of games, with new ones being added all the time and some older ones taken off. The last little while has seen an incredible amount of interesting and noteworthy games added to the service. Here are 7 I think are worth a look. These are all available to play on either your PC or Xbox console as of March 2022. So many people have told me how good the writing in the Guardians of the Galaxy game is. And you know what? They're right. This action-adventure game, which was released in 2021, tells a new story about the Guardians, separate from what's been set up in the Marvel movies. What starts out as a monster hunt soon spirals into a battle to save the universe. You control Peter Quill, but interact with and instruct the other Guardians to help you get through the environment, like having Groot build a tree bridge to get you across gaps. You also give instructions in combat, telling them which skills to use and when. The combat is fun, if a little repetitive, and the environmental puzzles are a nice distraction. But it's the writing and character development that really make the game worth playing. Much of the time, you'll be walking around, talking to your companions, making decisions. Each character is dealing with their own grief, and it's up to you how you react. Will you support them, help them work through it, and make them stronger? I like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, but I found some of the performances and characterizations in the game even more endearing. If you're looking for a game with fun, if simple gameplay, but great writing and character development, check this out. The game will take you about 20 hours. Paradise Killer is a fantastic experience that took the spot of my top game of 2020. It combines open-world exploration and platforming, collectibles, detective work, and visual novel with some excellent vaporwave aesthetics. You play Lady Love Dies, an immortal investigator. Paradise is an island which was created to resurrect fallen gods by using the energy of the citizens trapped within it. However, all this energy attracts the attention of demons, which eventually corrupt the island and force its creators to scrap it and try again. You need to solve the murder of the island's council on the eve of the birth of a new island. You do this by interrogating the people left, examining the crime scene, and always being on the lookout for evidence. Paradise Killer has a beautiful and intriguing cast of characters to interact with, along with some excellent writing and a world that's not huge but is densely packed with secrets and tidbits of lore. It's all very open-ended, meaning you could very well miss things before you make an accusation before the judge. The game is bright and cheerful looking, hiding the nightmare the island really is, and the soundtrack is amazing. It's one of my most spun vinyl for sure. If you're looking for a good mystery and an intriguing place to explore, check out Paradise Killer. A playthrough will take about 12 to 15 hours, depending on how thorough you are. Tunic is a game that feels like it was announced years ago, but it just released in March. You play a cute little fox exploring vast and varied lands, fighting ferocious monsters and constantly getting stronger and gaining new abilities and items. The game makes use of a stamina system that affects how often you can dodge and block in between sword swings and magic use, though you can turn this off if you want. One thing that really stands out about Tunic is that you'll be collecting pages from an NES-style instruction manual as you go. In the beginning, you're told very little about what you're doing and what items are. Of course, if you've played other video games, some of these things won't be too much of a mystery, but collecting pages will give you access to area maps, hints for where to go next, and enemy weaknesses. Boss fights in the game can be a real challenge, and there are some clever puzzles and ways of getting around. If you're looking for a Zelda-like game with a good sense of mystery that lets you find your own way, Tunic is worth a play. The game is around 12 to 15 hours long. Exo One is an interplanetary journey where you pilot an alien craft through gorgeous environments, looking for a signal that keeps prompting you further. This is a game that's really about the vibes. There are snippets of story about a past space disaster, but mostly you'll be playing with the game's physics and an increasing number of abilities to soar through the skies and plunge toward the Earth. You'll be making use of gravity, thermal updrafts, and launching yourself off mountaintops. It's all very fast and fluid and takes on a meditative quality the more you play. The scenery is breathtaking, varying from roiling oceans to icy tundras and volcanic mountains. You can explore each planet as much as you like, or head right toward the blue beacon that is your goal. If you're looking for a game that's both relaxing and exhilarating, that'll take you out of this world for 2 to 3 hours, Exo One is for you. Infernax feels like a love letter to Simon's Quest. Released in February, this platformer has you playing a knight who returns to his kingdom to find it overcome by monsters. But it gives you a choice. Do you fight against evil and help the people in your kingdom? Or do you want to be evil yourself? As you explore and fight, you'll be able to level up and get stronger, as well as gain new abilities to give you access to more of the map. The platforming in this one is difficult in the old school way. There is knockback, and there are death pits. If you play on classic difficulty, you'll only be able to save at infrequent save points and will lose your gold and experience if you die. The more forgiving casual mode gives you more checkpoints, chances, and lets you keep some of your experience and gold. Infernax controls well, is fun to play, and has some great gory touches. Deaths, whether your enemies or your own, are messy. If you're looking for a challenging, retro-styled action platformer that adds in some decision-making and character development, give Infernax a try. A single playthrough will take about 7 to 8 hours, and there are reasons to replay to try going down a different path, or play a different kind of character by inputting the Konami code. Firewatch is a beautiful and thoughtful game. In it, you play a man named Henry, who has become a fire lookout at Shoshone National Park. Henry is a different kind of game protagonist. Middle-aged, overweight, and not particularly heroic, he's come to the wilderness to escape his problems at home. The game opens up with a text-based intro where you meet Henry and make some decisions about his story. While in the park, the only person to interact with is Henry's supervisor, Delilah. You communicate with her via walkie-talkie, and she has issues of her own. Throughout the short game, you explore your beautiful surroundings, uncover a mystery, and develop a relationship, the nature of which is somewhat up to you. The dialogue is great and the voice acting is superb. Firewatch tells a unique, mature story. It's ultimately about two very flawed people and how these flaws and the issues they cause sometimes aren't overcome. Firewatch is a great option if you're looking for realistic characters, beautiful scenery and music, and the feeling of getting away from it all. The game lasts about 4 hours. A game many years in the making, Psychonauts 2 builds on everything people loved about the first game, but polishes it to a mirror's shine. You play Raz, a new member of the Psychonauts, an espionage agency that uses their psychic powers to stop nefarious forces out in the world. You travel around using powers like telekinesis and levitation to get where you need to go and engage in combat. The movement, platforming, and collectible finding all feel really great. But what stands out most about Psychonauts 2 are the worlds it creates. A big part of being a Psychonaut is diving into other people's brains. And every brain you visit is an amazingly cohesive space, representing the character they belong to perfectly. One of the standouts to me was a psychedelic romp through the Psy King Sensorium, which melded music with every other sense as you reunite the members of a band. There's also an incredibly fun and silly cooking challenge level where you need to find and prepare ingredients to present to a judging panel of puppets. The art design here is incredible. If you're looking for a 3D platformer that will give you not just a ton to collect, but also give you a number of really charming characters and stories, check out Psychonauts 2. The game is around 15 to 20 hours long. So those are 7 games I recommend you check out on Game Pass. There's action, murder mystery, great characters and storytelling, and some beautiful and relaxing experiences. Hopefully you found something you want to try. Until next time. If you want to see more, check out my last batch of Game Pass recommendations, or another of my videos. I have a Patreon if you want to support the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.